Hi, my name is Tammy Reger, and I am a past life historian. This is video 2 in the Women's History Month series. And today I'm going to channel the energy of Mary Magdalene. She's been waiting patiently for most of the day for me to give her a platform to share her message. There are other energies here for support. We have Mother Mary, Jesus, Thoth, and Goddess Isis as well. She is going to be the main messenger. The others are just there as they're saying commentary. So we'll see what comes out of this. I am going to do some cards. She asked me to have cards prepared for that. But first, I just want to channel the message that she has for us. I do close my eyes because that's how I stay out of needing to edit any of it so that it's as clear as possible. So I hope you enjoy this. Oh, and one last thing she's saying before I start that, at the end of this, we'll see, at the end of her message, I think I'm going to take you through a short guided meditation so you can connect to the energy of Mary Magdalene, if you so choose, and ask her for her help in your journey. So I'm going to say something quick before I bring in Mary Magdalene. And if you watch any of these videos and it just feels like something very familiar, even though you may have no recollection of it, I want you to pay attention to that. I have clients who tell me all the time that I'm attracted to so-and-so, or this person fascinates me from history, or this time period fascinates me. And when I start to get in and look at their past lives from their higher self's perspective, they've lived a lifetime or known that person. And that energy that coming through these sessions may be a call for you to answer something within yourself. So honor that. Please don't ignore it. Those are some of the biggest breadcrumbs you could ever get. So even if you don't get those, you can still do the meditation, obviously, to meet Mary Magdalene and her energy. But if you're somebody who's really like, oh, this is me, do the meditation and do it more than once, maybe, until you feel like she's literally walking with you every day and guiding you. She may well be the guide that takes you to your next level on your spiritual journey. Or maybe acknowledge something about yourself that you see in her. So let me start. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad that you all have joined together to listen to my message now. This world that you find yourself in is full of chaos, destruction, violence, arrogance, and hate. But your soul knows that there is something much, 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 much bigger outside of all of that. And it calls you. You may feel it through empathy, through anxiety, through tears and sadness. And yes, you cry for those that suffer, but your soul also cries for the times that it remembers when it was able to live in peace, when it was able to express itself fully in the way your soul expresses itself. That could be through voice, it could be through an instrument, a musical instrument, it could be through writing, it could be through ideas, it could be through problem solving. There are hundreds of ways your soul likes to express itself. And some of those things you may not see as soul expression, but yet they are. So I want to really talk about this soul calling, this desire in you somewhere to be more than you are. And I want to correct this misnomer that somehow you have to become bigger than you are, because that's not what the ask is. I and many others working behind the scenes, women and men who have walked on this earth, are here to guide you to remember who you are. It is a growth expansion, but first and foremost, it starts with remembering what you already know. And this is through lifetimes that you have lived on earth. Many of you have been here hundreds of times, some of you thousands of times. And through those thousands and hundreds of times, you have experienced things on earth that did not help with your soul expression. It dumbed it down, it lessened it, it dimmed it, hid it away for fear that someone else might see it. Now, many of you know my story from Christian or Roman Catholic times as being the whore that washes Jesus's feet. In this moment, I just want you to ask if that feels true to you. Does my energy feel like that? Or is there something more about me that tickles something inside of you? I am part of you, as you are part of me. And I'm here to encourage you to explore the tickle. My story is far beyond what I have been dwindled down to, as well as many other feminine leaders, historical figures through time, where it wants to appear that we only had one thing to do in order to keep us quiet. But I was anything but quiet then. I was to be reckoned with. I knew what my truth was. I knew what I was up against, but I knew that I had the love and support of those around me who were also on their own path. And we worked together to explore that. I knew, as well as Mother Mary knew, and many of the other followers of Jesus, that we would be outcasts, that our stories would be changed. But it didn't stop us from doing what we know we needed to do. What I needed to do after Jesus left us. I needed to become that leader. I needed to carry the torch forward. To be the person that those people who followed him for so long could look up to, and we can continue his plan. And his plan is simple. It's to get you, me, and everyone on this earth to realize that what was in him is in you. And that you can work magic too. And yes, he did things that seem out of this world, things that seem wonderful, but yet impossible, like walking on water. But by doing that one thing, he planted something inside of all of us, the possibility that we can walk on water. Without that, we would possibly never even think that was possible. But once one has done it, someone else can. So once Jesus moved on, I took that torch to then show others the same. And in that role as a woman, I showed what was possible as a woman. I stood in those shoes gratefully, with gratitude, knowing that I too was taking that torch and showing a way for women in the future, that they have a part to play. No matter how small, no matter how large, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're here to help one person, whether you're here to just help yourself, which some of you are, or you're here to help hundreds or thousands, it does not matter. You have shoes to fill. And those shoes are waiting for you. Some of you have tried them on And they don't quite feel right, do they? They feel uncomfortable, boxed in. You feel like you're being squeezed into them. Because over the centuries since then, you have lived through trauma after trauma after trauma where they have squeezed those shoes to be smaller and smaller and smaller so they no longer fit you. But they don't fit you because you're not supposed to wear them. They're too small. You were made to wear bigger shoes, to play a bigger role in the world, to help keep balance, to help keep peace, harmony. With whatever role your soul, higher self has chosen in this lifetime to do. And there's nothing selfish about this idea that you just came here to heal yourself this time. Doing the work on yourself is some of the bravest stuff you could possibly do because it takes courage and grit to look inside and see all of the lifetimes of BS that you've experienced that has cramped your style and made that shoe smaller and smaller and smaller until it no longer fits. It doesn't feel comfortable. And you think, oh, those shoes aren't for me, but really they are. They're just the wrong size. While you doing the inner work just for yourself, you don't just heal you, you heal through time, your ancestors. You're wiping away their pain and suffering when you work on you. And that may be all you're here to do in this lifetime, and that is perfect. But even with that, many of you have been led to believe that there's something outside of yourself that you're supposed to find, this treasure, this key, this person that's going to tell you what it is that you're supposed to be doing here. But you already know. Some of you already know and aren't willing to face it. It seems too big, too grand, too, holy crap, how am I gonna get there? But your soul knows how to get there if you only allow yourself to take the assignment, to agree to be shown how this thing happens. You're not going to accept your assignment today and have everything change tomorrow. It happens over a slow period of time on purpose. Some of you are on fast buses or speed bullet trains, but still there's a process and allows you to change and then another step. We don't take that shoe and just rip everything off and let it be all and crazy. We slowly stretch the shoe. We take off the binds that hold it and made it smaller and let it poof out to that. And then we take another one off, and we poof out to that, and we take another one off and poof out to that until you finally have the shoes that Creator created you to wear. I want you to just, in this moment, how do you feel about these shoes? And it's okay. You got to face the holy crap or the fear or the anxiety or, oh my God, what am I going to have to do outside of my comfort zone? I promise you, if that you do it, your life will change in ways that I can't express. I am going to be thrilled to pieces to see you fly. It's in you. It's waiting. You are the key. The key is underneath all the layers. Let me help you. Let me help you bring the things into your life so you can see what collapsed your shoes and tied it and bind it so they no longer feel like your shoes anymore. When you feel like you have to push yourself into this shoe and exists within all of the structures and limiting beliefs and trauma and expectations of society and all of that, and squeeze into that and let your soul only exist in that little teeny place. It doesn't exist there. It can't survive here. Think of being in a little place and your soul is down to this teeny place. It can't even stretch. It's just like it can't breathe because there's no expansion, because you're surrounded by all this nonsense that prevents you from knowing that you are much bigger than that. The only person who can get that to expand is you. It takes your permission to allow yourself, or with help with someone else, to allow that to expand. But you are always doing the work when you expand this, whether you work with somebody who helps you see what is keeping you bound. It doesn't come from outside of you. It's in here. This shoe is so tight. Some of you feel like it's holding your whole body. It's time for you to take off the binder, the string that is collapsing it all. You have the part within you to expand that shoe so it fits. It's as big as it needs to be, and you slide those feet right in, and it feels good. You know exactly what you're supposed to do. You're in the moment. Things just happen because you're in there. The abundance comes. You meet the right people. You have the right opportunities. You have health. You have it all because you're in the shoe that fits. And this is who your soul came here to be. And part of your journey is to figure out what is preventing that shoe from not fitting. You did not come here to fit into a shoe that someone else has shaped for you. You have not come here to fit in a shoe that your lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes have collapsed into tiny shoes. You are here to break the bonds that hold that shoe small, stretch and expand, and remember the shoes that you were created with from the beginning. It's all waiting. Shoes aren't going anywhere. They're always going to be there. You can do some, take a break, do some, take a break. How fast you go in expanding that is up to you. Now, many of you already have worked on expanding that shoe. I'm going to ask you, does it quite feel right yet? And know that you will expand the shoe and you'll put it on, you'll go, oh, this feels good, everything's good. And then something will happen. You'll realize that there's another bind on it. That's okay. It's a process. It doesn't mean that you did it wrong or you didn't get it all or you have to escape something. It's just that next piece that you have to figure out so it no longer holds you back. You know, I lived through this. Yes, I don't live in the times that you call home right now, but back then when I was leading my people in Glastonbury Torn in England, I faced similar challenges. This idea that a woman couldn't be a leader, that she had to stand behind a man, she had to be quiet. I was anything but quiet. And even then, they were writing me out of history. But it didn't keep me quiet. I made sure that those that I came to lead understood my position, and it gave them permission to be themselves. And yes, there is risk involved. Yes, I sacrifice for it. I also have my own soul lessons to learn because while my shoe was beautiful and bright when Jesus was here and we worked together, after he passed, there were so many people trying to buy my shoes, telling me how I can walk, how I can talk, what color shoes I should wear, whether there should be high heels, sneakers. Of course, we didn't have those things there. It's just how I'm describing how the shoes were trying to be shaped by others so that I had to walk their path instead of my own. And as the years went by, it got tougher and tougher. But I never gave up. And yes, I passed and I had binds on my shoes that I have since had to work on. I want you to do the same. Because we need you. You didn't come here during this time to just try to exist in the shoes that you think you're supposed to walk in. We need you to expand your shoes so that you can come together with the other women and men who are here now to do exactly the same thing. But to also not do it alone. That's the one thing that I can say that I loved about my time on earth. So I was never alone. I was with Jesus and the other followers and other teachers during that time. And after he left us, I was still with my brothers and sisters from before. There's no one to do it alone. Even if it's just somebody to hold your hand while you figure out what the next bind is so that your soul can expand and grow. You can step into bigger shoes that feel more like you. So I invite you today to meet me halfway. I'm not asking for you to do anything big. I'm not asking for you to give up anything. I'm not asking for you to change anything. I'm just asking for you to say, okay, I'm ready. Show me. And every opportunity, you'll get a choice to choose which path you follow. You have free will, you choose. The thing that I would like to help you with, besides the shoe part, is to start making decisions from here. The seat of your soul, and not from here. The over-analytical mind, where fear comes in and anxiety, where you second guess yourself and don't move when you're inspired, your intuition says to go. I want you to tap into here and listen to the truth as to whether something is right for you, whether something is true for you. And it's a knowing. It's not fear or happiness or joy. It's just this knowing. And that exists inside of you. And this is where I talk from. So thank you for listening. I've enjoyed this. I will be coming through again in these videos. For now, I just ask you to examine those shoes. Okay. We'll do a short meditation to connect to our energy if you so choose. Just one really quick thing. I was trying to be a pure channel and not share the things that I was being shown, but remember when she was talking about the shoe being so small and that it didn't have any place to grow and breathe? I saw the lamp from the genie from Aladdin. And if you listen to the movie, he would talk about how itty bitty space and he can't. And he comes out and he's like, yes, I'm free. He can stretch his arms. And it was that same energy. These shoes are so small. It's like being in a little teeny lamp. So if you can't relate to the shoes and you're a Disney person like me, you can relate to that in the Latin. So we're going to jump into the meditation now. It's just going to be really short. She just wants you to, well, we'll see. I never know what's going to happen when I do these. I have an idea. And then I'm doing a short card pull at the end to see what other messages she would like to have come through. Because some people, things click better in different ways. Some people click with the channeling, some people click with meditation, and some people click with the cards. And I'm hoping to be able to bring the messages through in the ways that work for you. Okay, so if you're in a place where you can close your eyes for a moment. If you're in a place where you can close your eyes and be present for, let's say 5 minutes, max 10, do so. If not, skip this part and come back. I will put the timestamps in the description so you know where it is. So close your eyes, start to become conscious of your breath. And as you become conscious of your breath, imagine that you're expanding your heart space with your breath. And with your next breath, I want you to imagine that you're walking through a portal in your heart space. On the other side, you stand in a room with large windows, stained glass windows. No pattern, just colors, like a prism. And in this room, Mary Magdalene stands. She's approaching you. She reaches out her hands and gestures for you to take them. She takes one hand, puts her finger underneath your chin, gently raises your head, and have you look directly into her eyes. And she smiles and says, "Welcome. Glad to see you." She takes her finger from below your chin and she again grasps your hands. There's nothing to be afraid of. We be as one. Can you look in my eyes? Can you feel my presence? Do you feel resistance? And it's okay if you feel resistance. I know what your soul's been through. I know what your ancestors have been through. But I want to invite you on a ride, a journey to bust through the walls that so many have put up around you and me and many others, so you can remember the truth of who I am to you and how I can help you and how I so dearly want you to succeed and how dearly I want you to wear these shoes that are 10 times bigger than the ones you have. You can't look at me today. I'm okay. It's not a test. No, in time you will be able to, and it's okay. But whether you can look in my eyes or not, I want you to imagine that there is a stream of light that goes from my heart space to yours. And if you're open, I'd love to share my unconditional love that I have for you, to you. And if you would like that, just make the intention to receive it. Now I want you to feel the energy in the hands, my hands in your hands. Can you feel the energy of myself in your hands? This is where we connect. Hands, heart, and eyes. And I know eyes are the harder part, and it's okay. Allow yourself to breathe that in. Feel your connection to me, allowing yourself to remember not only who I am to you, but also to awaken the truth that I can help you with within you. Mary Magdalene releases your hands and she steps back just a space or two. She says, this is not goodbye. This is an invitation. There are going to be many guides, women of the past, gods and goddesses and angels that will come forth in the coming weeks in these videos. You don't just have to pick one of us to work with. I am first. So today, I ask you if you would like my help on this journey to help you expand your shoes, grow in to the spark within you, and allow it to expand into your truth. In my hand is a key. You know, the old-fashioned kind with the fancy knobs and the skeleton key points. In this moment, I'm asking you if you want my help to take the key. You're going to place that key in your heart. When you place that key in your heart, you're going to feel the energy of Mary Magdalene awaken within you, helping you to remember the parts that she's here to help you remember about yourself. So thank you again. It's been such a blessing to be able to see you this way again. And I hope very soon we can see each other again. Bye for now. Mary Magdalene turns and walks away. You turn and come back through your heart space, allowing yourself to become conscious of your breath once again. From your heart space, send down a golden spiral of light down deep into Mother Earth, allowing you to deeply ground into Mother Earth. And bring that golden spiral light back up into your body, allowing it to spiral all the way up your spinal column until it gets to the top of your head. And once it's there, just take a couple more deep breaths and open your eyes. Allow yourself to just pay attention to what happens. If you took the key, she'll come through in ways. You'll learn how she talks to you or guides you in her own unique way. For you each individually unique based on what your gifts are and even what she's here to help you remember about yourself. Be patient with yourself. This is not rocket jet fuel. Some of you might feel like it is. If it starts if you start really paying attention, it may. But it's not about that. This is like you as a flower and allowing the petals to open. You can't force a flower to open. You can't decide what petal opens first. There's an innate nature to the flower and how it opens. And you remembering who you are and the gifts that you have are the same thing. You're that flower. So she, as well as many others that will be coming through in the coming days and weeks, are also here to help you open that flower. So I'm going to do a quick 2-card read, she's saying. Just general message for those who just need that extra. It's always cool to sometimes just see what else she might have to say. I'm sure it's about the shoes. That seems to be the overall message today. So you can do that meditation as much as you be called to do, and you'll just gather a deeper connection to Mary Magdalene's energy. Now, if you couldn't look in her eyes, I'll ask yourself why. What emotion were you feeling, or can you not name it? Was it guilt? Is there an element of seeing her as being greater than yourself? You know, many of us have been taught not to look into leaders' eyes or people that we feel are better than us as a sign of respect. And if that's the case, then, you know, that's something to change. When you connect to your higher self, which is probably not going to be in this series, but who knows? But I have other videos on that. She's literally getting you prepared to be able to look at your higher self in your eyes. Can you look at yourself, your true self in the mirror? Think of it as preparation for that. But honor it. If you couldn't look in her eyes, doesn't mean, it just means there's something that needs to shift inside of you. And she is here as a catalyst. And it's not always going to be comfortable, the things that come through with her or any of the other people that will be channeled over the next couple of weeks. Because they're here to help us to expand that shoe, and that's not comfortable. Always. Sometimes it's easy. It's some things we just got to realize about ourselves and it just happens. But sometimes you have to be okay with being uncomfortable. Okay. There's 2 cards, so I got 1 more to go. So I think the biggest message is beyond the shoes for me is you have to be patient. You could listen to all these videos for the next however many how many weeks this goes. I said it's for Women's History Month, but I do feel as though it will go to Easter, if not past Easter. You could listen to all these and this could help you propel on your journey. Or maybe you need extra help, and I am there for that as well. So that's why I do these cards, because I just love this. But anyways, so the first card is rescue. And these are the messages from Mary Magdalene in these cards. And this goes to something that I think she said in a channeling. I don't always remember what happens in there, but there's no one coming to save you. I know that's sometimes hard to hear, that there isn't somebody outside of you who could pull some strings and everything magically shifts. The strings are inside of you. And yes, while everyone else is figuring out their strings, you may connect with people who help you see what the next string is that needs to be untangled, what not needs to be untangled. And in yesterday's video, the first one that I did, we got One Ring Circus, which is interesting because in that there was this call to come together to create communities where you could get the support you need to work through this stuff, to share your dreams and goals with people so they can help you with either connections or investments, whatever it is. This card's a little different, right? Because she's saying that those people aren't there to rescue you. They're like a warm hug on a snowy, cold day, or a dreary day when you just need somebody to lift you up, or you have these big dreams where you need somebody to help you with something that seems outside of you, but that connection is part of what's being planned behind the scenes for you. This card says that you can't wait. Those people don't have the answers that you seek. Those answers are inside of you. You can do a past life regression session or a past life session like with me. I don't really do regression that way. It's different in how I do it. To see what is keeping that shoe small. And sometimes it's hard to see what's keeping that shoe small because some of the stuff that's in our past lives isn't fun to look at. But her message for this is you have to rescue yourself. You have a role to play. You know, those shoes that you were given to by Creator when he created you need to be expanded. But you only know what the binds are. No one else can tell you what they are. Like I said, if you have a past life regression session or work with me where I work with your higher self for her to literally show us where the binds are and how to take them off in a methodical way without causing too much stress in your life. Because when you take those binds off, your life shifts. People leave. You decide to maybe stop doing things or doing new things. And that, depending on where you are in your life, may cause some strife, and that's okay. And that's where that community comes in and says, it's okay, you got this. I've been there before, you got this. Or they share a resource with you that can then help you past that. But you first have to start to unbind your own shoes. And the last one always chokes me up because home. Glare, I'm sorry. You are coming home to yourself. There's not a home outside of us. I mean, there is back to, let's say, creator, the source. Some of you may relate to being star seeds and you see home as your home planet. The home you're going back to is inside of you. It's remembering who you are as a soul. It's remembering all the lies that you've learned from and expanded from to get to the next chapter instead of playing the same records over and over again. And that home lives in here. It's in your heart space. And many people have their heart space closed to the idea that they can even have that. Seems out of reach. Home. It's inside of you. When you become one with the soul that lives inside of you, you're no longer separate from the home in the sky or the home in the earth, that you are more connected to earth than the heavens. Your soul is not separate from any of those things. And when you can expand that shoe so that it fits the way it was intentionally created for you, you come home. No matter where you are in the universe, you're home because you are in alignment with the universe, the stars and the planets, the people, Earth, all of it. So you're not trying to get somewhere. You're not trying to make it back to a dimension. Your soul is multidimensional. You can exist in all dimensions all at once. Many of us astral travel at night and we're in other dimensions. Your soul doesn't know one place. It knows it all. And home is your current reality merging with the truth of who you are in here. And once this happens, no matter where you are, you will never feel like you're not home. And this is her invitation to us all. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this card multiple times over the weeks because it's a very powerful card. And as we near the equinox at the end of the month, you're coming home. You're going home. But home is not outside of you. It's not in the clouds. It's inside. It's that piece of you that is never separate from heaven or earth. So are you ready to fill your shoes so you can come home? Are you ready to expand the shoes so you can come home? Take the binds off of society and the power structures, beliefs and traumas through past lives that prevent you from knowing that you were already home. Home hasn't left you. Home isn't somewhere to go. It's already here. It's just you acknowledging and remember that you are already home. And that's a journey in itself to remember that you never left. All that's happened is people have put all this junk, furniture, knickknacks, energy in there so that you don't realize limiting beliefs, that you don't realize that you're already there. It's time to clean all that stuff so you can remember. And what that looks like for you is unique to each one of you. And when I work with my clients, I see them home already. And I'm guiding them on the path so that they can remember that they're home, that you never left. So I want to thank you for listening to video 1. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have anything that you'd like to share, please do so in the comments. Please like this video so more people hear the message of Mary Magdalene, so more of us can come home. The more of us that come home, the more in alignment Mother Earth will be. More in alignment will the structures and systems exist on Earth. So it's not just for each of us, it's for everyone else as well. So the more people that watch this video, the better, who answer the call to find out what's in their way from knowing that they're already home. So again, subscribe to the channel if you like this video, like it, and comment below. I don't know who's coming through next. I'm just literally allowing it to happen. Mary Magdalene was very present today, so I knew that that's who wanted to come through. Eleanor Roosevelt's been hanging around. I have a feeling it won't be long before she comes through. And we'll see what else. But thank you again for listening. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.